Greetings, everyone. Yes, I'm excited. I mean, I'm always excited, but I'm excited. Okay. Thank you all for tuning in to another episode of the You Thrive Everyday Show. And of course, again, we got another special guest that is about to be telling y'all how to be thriving out here in these spiritual streets. Okay. So, Miss Indigo Goddess, introduce yourself. Tell us what you like to be called, what your title is, and where you're from.
Okay. Well, I am Indigo Goddess. That is my name. That is my spiritual name, my spiritual calling with that. I'm originally from Detroit, Michigan, but I do reside out in Texas now.
Okay, Midwest in the house. Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
Absolutely.
so as we were just chatting, you have a plethora. You have a nice little plethora, like a little magic chest in that vessel of yours, you know? So just start telling me about your like journey when you started becoming awoken to these talents.
Okay. So for me, it started at a very early age. Um, I always knew, I always felt special. Don't we all? I always felt special, and I just knew that, even watching TV and like Bewitch, and I don't want to age myself in that aspect, but watching Bewitch and those things, being younger, I just really felt like I could do that. Like it felt so natural. And it's like, why, when I do this, why doesn't something just pop up? Like what happened? It's supposed to be here. But however, I just always had a awareness of things, and also a natural curiosity. I wasn't one that you can just tell something to and I just go with it. I always question everything, and not in a combative way, but just,
Yeah.
why would you want me to do that? Or why are we worshiping this, that, and the third? Like, what is that about? Because every time, even growing up in the church, like most of us did, I would always hear a little voice that says, but there's always, but there's more. And I never felt satisfied with the information I was getting. So just to kind of backtrack some, I'm also a mortician in my career, right? So this came from me being, I used to go to the library a lot when I was young. The only place my grandmother would let me walk to. And this is when you let a 9-year-old can walk around wherever. You can't do that now. But so I would walk there, and then was fascinated and drawn to the books on the ancient Kemites or ancient Egyptians, or what they like to call them in the modern days. And just looking at the material, I felt so connected to the point where I used to get upset with myself because I couldn't read the Metronetra, the hieroglyphs. I would really, really be upset with myself. So I just felt that connection. So I carried that on as I continued to grow, and just felt like my place was to be embalming, okay, and being on that side, and having that real connection. At the time, I didn't know his name until later on, but that would be Lord Anubis, okay, who was actually my spiritual father. Gave away a little teaser. Okay. So with that said, I just always had this awareness the entire time. So once I started to received the information, and allowed myself to go ahead and start researching information, esoteric wise and occult information, it really just started clicking and making sense. Like I knew it. I knew something was wrong there. I knew it was more. I knew it was some information that was being withheld. It just did, because what I was presented here in a family setting just absolutely did not make sense to me. It just didn't. So, and I just I'm right at home. I'm right at home with everything I've gotten in myself into over the last 5 years, with being in the spiritual community.
Wow. I'm like, your journey sounded pretty easy. I don't know.
It did, but no, that's not. I mean, I went through the same as far as my healing journey and
Okay.
traumas and, everything, all the steps that one must go to in order to continue to elevate. I mean, it's a must because, of course, being within the setting, even a religious setting, that's a trauma. You have to heal from that. I mean, that's one of the traumas. So there are many things still, that I had to go through to continue to elevate as I began to learn and remember, because I usually like to use the word remember,
Yes.
more information. Then I knew that, I had to do shadow work. I knew that I had to research this work, read things for myself. I don't just, not just taking a bunch of YouTube and TikTok videos and running with it. I knew I had to learn my natural talents within divination and magic, which once I started learning it, it was like that for me, and it connect with me so well. And also learning energies and even going to the basics about learning how the universe works.
Yes.
People have to understand, and I know a lot of people, I see them just jump into spirituality, but it's important to go back and learn the basics, learn, why it's frequency, energy, and things that you need to learn, you know, and how the universe just connects, how manifestation works. Look at it on the scientific side. Okay.
Yes, and collaborate. And, in my stage, because, sometimes we feel like in certain subjects we advance, you know what I'm saying? But what I have learned is sometimes you need to, it's like for those that are in the educational system, it's like going back and taking those CE courses. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so sometimes you gotta go back to the foundation and make sure that's real solid. You know what I'm saying? Because as you evolve, you see things. Sometimes the mind, the eyes don't see what the mind don't know. So it's like when you go back to the foundation, you be like, oh my God, how did I miss that? You know? And I find myself being patient and listening to spirit and going back to the beginning, like, damn. So
Absolutely. Absolutely.
that is crucial. Okay. So one question, honey, that popped in my mind was mortician
Yes.
and then medium.
Mm-hmm.
How does that work being a medium? Like, have you set boundaries? Do you be like, look, everybody, do not be coming at me? You know what I'm saying? Like, are you just, at work all day or dealing with the clients all day, like receiving, like, how does that work?
So I definitely understood that I had to create protection.
Mm,
Okay. Which we all have control over in our own universes.
mhm,
And having that understanding that you have that control. So I create protection surrounding me. I got my crystals, of course, the tourmaline and a little obsidian, that will help to protect if it seems that to be at much at times. But however, I never had an instance where it was out of control to where I'm getting contacted and that sort. It hasn't come up as of yet. I can't use the word never. However, in my universe, the protection that I set up, I'm able to separate
okay.
those two lanes in that aspect, because I'm actually what I call, even though mortician, I equate that to a afterlife doula.
Oh,
Okay.
really?
Yes. And so what I have done is use that energy, and using the energy of Ampu as well as Nephthys, um, to usher people, and talking to them while I'm working with them and ushering their souls. Cause yeah, I can feel, there are still souls around. I can feel them. I know sometime when the soul has actually went ahead and already vacated. So what I do is just gently usher them in the way that they should go, and I leave it at that. Nobody has no soul has followed me home, or well, I'm pretty protected in here. Like my Ampu, my Nubis don't play, my ancestors don't play, they got me on lock, so I do a lot of altar work, so
Right.
it helps as well. But I think it's beautiful having that particular connection. um I think it's beautiful having that connection on the other side, because even the way that I view death, or what they call death,
Right.
you know, is different than most.
Exactly.
I understand that it's just a transition. I understand that it's a whole nother life. I understand that this is death, to be honest.
Right.
This is the hell, but we have to go through these stages of this hell school. Let's just give it a name right quick. A hell school in order to be released and be free, so.
Okay. So let's just take it back a tad, right? Because
Okay.
many have heard the term doula as far as birthing is concerned, bringing little infants in. So, from your perspective, tell us what a afterlife doula is.
So that will be someone, because you also have an end of life. So then you have people that will sit with people that are beginning to transition. So
Okay.
again, it's still the purpose of a doula is to assist.
Okay.
Okay. And you're assisting in a more holistic way, um, and understanding the process, and helping that person or persons through that process. So that's what I'm doing. I'm helping, but I'm not helping the person. I'm already at the point of helping their soul, their spirit.
Okay. And from your perspective, what is the difference between a spirit and a soul?
Okay, that's a very good question. From my understanding as well as my research, the soul itself, everything has a spirit, that animates. A roach has a spirit, an ant has a spirit, a mouse has a spirit because it's animated. But does it has a soul? That will be no.
Mm,
So a soul is a portion within you that comes from the cosmos. Okay, so that's your piece of source, your God self. That's what that is. That lies within us. A person, there are animated people, spirits that walk among us, but they don't necessarily have a soul, but they do have a spirit. Okay. And which can also go over into the spirit world. And on the other side of things, that everyone, even a soul, could be over in the spirit world. However, you can still ascend as a soul, but a spirit is limited on where they go because they don't have that connection with the cosmos. They don't have that connection with source.
ain't got no passport. No.
Exactly. You ain't no entry, no stamps, no nothing. You can't go nowhere. You could just be in the waiting room chilling out. But so that's the difference between a soul and a spirit.
Wow. Okay. So, okay. So would you be so if a entity passes or transitions and they have a spirit and no soul, how does that work as far as their afterlife process? Like, is there a difference with the process? Like, what is the major difference? Meaning the spirit is stuck somewhere, because they don't have a soul? How does that work?
Okay, so we want to look at it. I'm just going to use terms that are familiar
Yes.
with most of the community. So we're going to talk in terms of dimensions.
Mhm.
Okay. So if you are a spirit, you can cross over to the fourth dimension. A lot of spirits reside there.
Mhm.
Okay. Negative and positive. Okay. However, if you're at a point where you have done the work, done clearing and things of that sort, and you are a soul, that's where you can ascend to fifth, sixth, seventh dimension. But the spirit will just kind of hang around in the fourth dimension. Now, what they experience, it really depends upon what their mindset is. I have a few good movies that I think people can take a
Oh,
look at
good.
that
Yes.
would relate to that. So the movie with Robin Williams, What Dreams May Come, okay, is a good depiction of your mindset that you're in when you transition that would determine, what your experience will be. So in that movie, Robin Williams was married to his wife. They end up losing, I think they lost a child. It's been a while since I watched the movie. However, this is the gist of it. Um, his wife was, yes, they lost a child. Okay. And he passed away with the child. That's what it was. So when he passed away, his life was still roses and flowers and paintings. Okay. So when he transitioned, that was his reality. Okay. But the wife that was left behind was absolutely devastated and tormented in her mind. So when she took her life, and it's not because she took her life, because that stuff about suicide, that's really
Right.
not how it goes, but because her mind, her consciousness was tormented when she transitioned, she lived in a tormented state on a constant, okay, until she ended up getting pulled from that, which is a possibility. However, it's not common, but that determines, so that's just a depiction on what one may experience with themselves. That's why the mind is very important, even up until that point, because if you are raising hell here, and think you about to be free when you transition, you gonna be raising hell somewhere else, just on another side. And it's still gonna be the same torment within your mind. That's why it's important for us to do the shadow work and let go and release of things, because when it is time for you to leave this realm, you're able to be at peace. You're able to ascend if that's if you have a soul, you know so that's what I get from that.
Okay, I love that. Okay, so that's yeah, that is an amazing gift, right? So, did your research, because how is it that you're knowing, like you're dealing with spirits who have a soul or spirits that don't have a soul? Like, was it just a feeling or both? Like during research, you started to understand certain feelings, or like how the hell? Like,
Search through research and knowledge.
Mhm.
That's where you're going to get your information. And a lot of the research and knowledge comes from in here. Because once I have opened myself to that, and I have that communication with my first higher self, my guidance,
Mhm.
and I'm able to decipher information that I come across if it's correct or not, because I trust my inner guidance. I have made that relationship.
Exactly.
Okay. And I know what she sounds like. So it's not like it's other spirits or negative entity or whatever talking to me. I know what she sounds like. you know. And so that you have to create that relationship.
Yes.
Okay, because that's your intuition, you know. And so if you don't have that, you can be led down so many crazy roads, it's ridiculous, you know. So that would be the first step of deciphering any information. So I'm led to go to different books, I'm led to visit different videos,
Yep.
be based upon, you know, the information that I'm seeking. You know, you'll be surprised that I would think of something that I'm interested in. I look up on my feed and, you know, okay, we get the algorithm, but I'm saying spirit
No,
at the
no,
same time.
I get it because I'm led the same way. Yes, I get that.
Yeah, and it would just pop up, you know, and it's right there. And I'm grateful. You always want to show gratitude. Oh, well, thank you for that. Thank you for this information because I have wanted to know that. Or if I hear something and I feel that I need to go and check that out or verify that information or learn a little bit more about it, then I allow spirit to guide me
Yeah.
do so. Mhm.
Yes. Okay, so one of the things too that you were talking about was numerology.
Yes.
And that's a big deal because I don't feel that people really understand the importance of numbers and the vibration that they carry, right? So can you go into that for me and your practices?
Yeah, absolutely. So with numerology, well, that comes to the point of people. Let me grab my book right quick for you. That way we can see a copy here. So with numerology, and this is my book on Amazon. I can see the universe calling.
Okay.
You can see it up here. I know it might be backwards. But however, it's really about understanding, like I said, how the universe works in itself. Okay. Knowing that the universe works with frequency um and the energy that it gives. So universe also speaks to us in numbers. Okay, you can check this out by using like the Fibonacci sequence, um counting, you know, stars or points and things of that sort. That is the way that universe, you have angel numbers, right? Or I like to call them guardian numbers. Okay, because in my book I call them guardian numbers, kind of getting away from angel numbers because the word angel is more like angles of light, not
Exactly. Uh-huh.
okay. But understanding the vibration, because those are your three elements that the universe works with: vibration, frequency, and energy. So understanding the vibration of a number, you know, and what energy it can bring, then it can lead to a different frequency in your life. Okay, so once I learned this information, I become fascinated. Besides the fact that about 4 years ago, before I started, this is what started me into finding out more about what numbers are. I was getting flooded. When I say my universe was speaking to me like heavily, and I was still kind of, like I said, I was aware, but I wasn't doing a lot of spiritual work. You know, at that point, I was still having, you know, normal human situations.
Yeah.
But I was getting flooded to the point where I knew to write them down. And every day it's 444, 777, 222, all these every day. And I'm like, okay, this is happening so much. It's freaking freaky. And it has to be something to it. That's what first started me to research what this really means. And once I did that, it started to make sense. And I started to paint the picture of the message that I was getting. So that's the information I incorporated into my book because I see a lot of people, oh, I seen 222 today. Woo! And it's like, they don't know what that means though. They just seen it every day. And, you know, within themselves, they feel great. But no, the purpose of that is to actually research and see what message your universe is trying to get you to find out by reducing the number down to one digit. to get the full frequency of what's being said here. Okay. So that will be was it 2466 with that? Okay, so that could be anywhere from balance, a spirituality, a spiritual awakening, a journey, also being too much into your mind or into the past. Okay. Um, so that's what started me within numerology. I was, like I said, absolutely fascinated, and I was getting it so much that I had to find out what my universe was trying to tell me. And I found the message, and the message was beautiful. The message brought me to where I am right now.
Wow. And so what is your book about? I
So
know it's about numerology, but
so it's an interactive journal in that
okay.
aspect. So the first, couple pages, I definitely tell you about numerology and what the numbers mean. I also teach people how to reduce the number down to one single digit, and then to be able to pick up the vibration of that digit. And then in the back of the book, it gives people an opportunity that continue to see numbers over and over again to start listing these numbers, to start taking note, so that when you have time to go ahead and sit down and figure out what your message is, and also it teaches them, if I'm seeing 777, it's not about just seeing it. It's about, how are you feeling when you seen it? What are you thinking when you seen it? What was happening when you see that? Because all of that correlates to the message that your universe is trying to give you. It would be nice if the universe just calls it up like, hey, I need you to turn left, turn this on, and here you go. You won the lottery. No, it doesn't work like that. It needs you to do the work. Okay. It needs you to, in a sense, deserve this greatness is giving you. Not saying you're not deserving, but if it just came on all of our laps, we wouldn't even be right here right now.
Right.
It just wouldn't,
Yeah, you really wouldn't pay any attention to it because it fell right on your lap.
Exactly. You would take it for granted. You would take it for granted, and you would not treasure the important gift that the universe was specifically speaking to you. Because it's a lot of people that don't even get that.
Wow. Yeah. So you do cards too, right?
I do. I do. I read tarot cards, absolutely, and oracles. Yes.
And oracle cards.
You have
That's
any-
really popular right now.
that is.
So
That's
tell me about
I prefer the tarot, to be honest. The oracle would be for me in addition to, like, to
two.
add on
Uh-huh.
what I've already pulled, or what spirit had for that person. Mm-hmm.
So because it's a lot of tarot readers out here.
Girl, yes. It is, and I'm gonna just speak on that just briefly here. I know you want
Okay.
to continue on with your
No,
thought.
do your thing.
I never, when I first started to learn how to remember, I'm gonna take that back. Remember to divinate, and just basically allow my guidance to speak through those cards. Okay. I was seeing them all on TikTok. It looked good. It looked like good money. However, my spirit said, she don't play either. Stop me in my tracks. That's not what this is for. That's not what this is for, because you're dealing with, and again, back to my protection, you're dealing with too much there. It's too much open with that. It's too much that you can allow yourself to come in contact with that, doing it that route. So yeah, I see them, but that's not my route. That's not my route, and I'm not saying that their gifts are not natural gifts or whatever, however they want to do it. That's fine and dandy. That's just not indigo, because it's a lot. It's a lot. And sometimes I can run across in my spirit, be like, girl, if you don't swipe, because if you know they playing games. They don't even know what they talking about, but okay.
That's it. Like, we don't need to pay it no attention, honey.
Mm-mm.
Get none of our focus. Okay.
But so I tell people to be cautious with that, and listen to yourself. I mean, your guidance. If you create that connection, you'll be told if that's cap or not. I think that's what they say nowadays. I
Yeah,
might be
girl.
outdated, but they'll tell you. They'll be like, okay, go with that, or
Yeah, so that's what I was gonna say because especially right now, um, the common, of course, we as individuals have our own individual shit, but as a collective, there are common things, that are going on with us all as a collective. So, from your viewpoint, how would you say? I know you just said like listen to yourself, you know what I'm saying? But then there are some that are still getting to know all those feelings on the inside. You know what I'm saying? So there's not nothing necessarily heavy pulling them away from it, but there's
Mhm.
not necessarily nothing heavy pulling them to it. So, it almost feels a little neutral, so it's like, let's just see what's going on. You know what I mean? So,
Absolutely.
how would those that are in those states of awareness be able to pinpoint the fuckery?
So that's gonna take some practice, some inner work. I would suggest, or my guidance would be with that would be meditation. Simply quieting out all else to be able to, like I say, hear and recognize that voice, because you do have a lot, even us that eat, have parasites and stuff. I mean, I can keep going, I can go down that route too. But they're talking too, just to be honest. So it's going to take for you to first have that determination and say, listen, this is what we're doing. Okay. Because we have to remember we are the creators of our own universe and our own reality. So you have to make that decision. Okay, this is what we're doing. And then practice on it. Do the meditation, do some journaling, find out what that voice sounds like, test it out. I started doing little stuff to test it out at the beginning to understand that to make sure that this is what it is. You know, if you're driving down the street and you hear, inside your, little voice, your intuition, go left, go left. Just see.
Mm-hmm.
Turn left. You know what I'm saying? Or start following those little directions. Start trusting your intuition. Once you see that, and also it works on both sides. Once you see that, then you start doing it more. And once your intuition, your higher self sees you're listening, it's gonna flood your ass with information.
Yeah,
It's gonna be like, "Oh, we ready? Oh, snap! Let's hit it!" Like,
that's
you know,
how it
it's
goes.
gonna come. You don't have to go searching for it. You don't have to scratch for it, baby. It's gonna start smacking you in your face. But it's all about allowing yourself and saying, okay, let's do this. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to be on this journey. I'm ready to make changes.
Yes. I thought I need to start getting some sound effects and this
No,
joint.
right?
Keep saying it. So, the juice, okay, because I don't know why either. Magic is so controversial. Even though we see and watch magic every day all around us. I mean, the fact that your heart beats, that's magic, you know. But anyway, with what you're comfortable with sharing, Because I know some people's practices are private, you know, but what you're comfortable with sharing. Um, Actually, let's start from here. Tell me what, from your perspective, is magic.
Okay, magic itself is basically alchemy. That's the transformation of one thing into the next or a different matter. Okay. Same thing or situation. So that's what you're doing with magic. You are transforming a current situation and doing work or doing a ceremony in a sense. It's not all grandiose. It doesn't have to be. In a sense, in order to get a specific result. That's what magic is.
Okay. And so what are some of your practices as far as magic is concerned?
So me, I do ritual magic, I do candle magic, um, and using a few different well, that will fall up under ritual magic. So I would just go with ritual magic and which will cover a vast of things, candle magic, oils, herbs, things of that sort. Okay. Um, for me, I also invoke as well. But what I do want to tell all of the listeners is that please enter and understand that magic, you are the magic. And all of the things that I use are merely tools. But you have to allow yourself to be the magic. You have to believe in your magic. Okay. Doubting yourself will kill your magic left and right. So it's going to take a level of confidence in what you're doing if you choose to go to the route of um, doing magic, practicing magic, or heka, or what they would like to call.
Okay, girl.
Yeah.
So what I be hearing out here on these spiritual streets, this is what I be hearing. I be hearing that sometimes people be doing these rituals and they be calling on certain deities and certain gods, you know what I'm saying? I hear that be going on, right? Because they got these energies about them and you want to use those same energies to put into your ritual. But what I had also heard too was to be careful because sometimes you get to owing these deities and you be like in debt and stuff, and then they be trying to like put some persuasive juju up on you, you know, and how you doing their work, whatever that is.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me, tell me.
But those that do that are just going into it saying that, oh, I could do that, or magic is cool, and they just go for it. Knowledge is key. You first need to research these deities you're working with, because you'll find there are some deities that require work from you because they're energy. But then you'll find that there are some that do not. It's really more that do not than versus more that do. However, it takes for knowledge and searching into that knowledge and learning about that entity or that deity you're working with, as well as what you're doing and what you're saying to put out there into the universe. You have to really look at that, look up this information. You really have to research it and learn it for yourself so you can know which spirits to work with energies to work with. That's important. You have to. And for those that are out here practicing and doing whatever and getting all this flashback, that's your fault. That's all I'm gonna say, because you should have did the research on that. You know, they say everything has a price. In a sense, it does. However, with the right knowledge, you know you've paid that price. You researching is the price you paying for that particular knowledge, if you follow what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I know they be out here just doing whatever because I feel like they felt it was cool, you know, or like, oh, I like that. Let me do that. You know, it's good you're ready to gun ho, but come on and Know what you're doing. Learn what you're doing, you know, before you can do it. Master it and then do it.
Yes, that's important.
Yeah, people be jacking themselves up left and right. Then they calling people for help, or they calling on some of the spiritual people in the community that's been in it or been doing stuff, and they calling for help and stuff like that. Well, you know, use the information that you're getting and researching. Don't just jump in it. Don't just jump in the deep end of the pool and you don't have no floaties on your arm.
That's it. And your ass can't swim. Okay.
Right. Yeah. So you
That
be
part.
doggy pedaling your oh,
You know what I
absolutely.
mean?
Absolutely.
Okay. Damn, I just had a question and I literally just lost it. And it was a good one too. That doesn't happen to me.
Oh.
Oh, okay. So earlier you were talking about parasites, and then we were talking about spirits, and some spirits don't have any soul. So if you have any information, what would you then say like possession is?
What would I say possession is? Okay, so you definitely have darker energies or energies that want to enter you. Okay, in a sense. That's possession. But you pretty much have to be open to that, you know, in a way, or just spiritually naive and unable to block that. You know, most people are not just sitting here and you just get a negative spirit jump into you. It's holes in your aura. It's something going on there as to why they can connect with you on that aspect.
What do you mean holes in the aura?
So just an example, one way to put holes in your aura is drinking alcohol. Okay. That allows, so this is why alcohol is called spirits, right? Because it invokes, and a lot of spirits ride on that alcohol line. Okay. So when you are, if you go into a club and you got a whole aura, you start drinking, you basically start breaking down that layer of protection. And so this is why you get drunk, you twist it. Then the next day, your friends is telling you, you did this, you did that. And you like, what? I can't remember what, because it wasn't you. It wasn't. It was a spirit took over because you opened yourself up. Your defenses became down at that point. And they took that opportunity like, oh, well, let me go on over here then since she feeling all good. Let me hop on in there and cause some rucket then. You
Yeah.
know, let's really have some fun. Let's really turn this up. Okay, so just to kind of give it a modern paraphrase there, but that's what happens. So those who are possessed in that sense, um, there was something that came along with that. It just didn't happen out of the blue. It just didn't happen out of the blue.
Yeah, so that's interesting. So, yeah, that's interesting. So, parasites, just like there are parasites that we say live in the body, right? So, that would be physical. So, what you're saying is like there could also be like spirit parasites, that like come in through the aura and come into the body.
In a sense, that's what, yeah, that can absolutely happen, even though parasites in itself is an entity.
Right.
Yeah, so yeah. Yeah.
That is interesting.
Opening ourselves up to the extraterrestrial entity that wants to enter into your universe. So you can look at it like that. You know, people think like, no, I'm on the planet and anything that comes into the planet is extraterrestrial, where you are your own standalone universe. So anything that comes into you is the extraterrestrial. And
Exactly.
so that will come in, it will attack, it will cause havoc, it will change your mind, it will infiltrate your thoughts, and all type of things. Cause dis-ease, everything.
Okay.
Same thing a spirit would do if you were open yourself up to some sort of um possession. I'm gonna just use it like that.
Right. Yeah, because of course, we know due to certain alignments um with the stars and the planets and everything that's going on here right now, but there has been a lot of mental health issues going on. You know, um, so that's why I asked that because it's crazy, but it's been a popular thing going on with entities attaching themselves, and our community, I'ma just say like being old school, and how we just brush certain things under the rug. Like, oh, she been crazy. Like, that's just you know
Yeah.
what I mean? And then when it get out of control, like you got some of these families, they just gonna send you away. You know what I'm saying? Go on, put her in a nursing home. Like, she been crazy her whole life, or she just starting to get crazy. She like her mama, or she like her auntie, or she like cousin so and so, so and so. But this is a real thing now. Like, it's a real thing.
Well, I kind of have sort of I get where you're going with that. I kind of have a sort of a different viewpoint point on that. I really wouldn't blame a lot of um, mental or what society brings on as a mental disorder on spirits or possession, because it's a lot of things that can go into what is going on with them. First of all, not fitting the social norm would put you in that category, when they could simply have spiritual gifts. It could be ancestors and things of that sort, um that causes them to be special. It's some energies that are walking around, head, arm, leg, that are absolutely, well, none of us with soul beings, we're not from here anyway, but literally they're not from here at that point. So it's so much that can go into that, that if you're putting people using society's drawn out outline of what a mental health looks like, can cause people to be ostracized
Yeah.
and feel alienated, when they're actually really special beings, very special, you know. So I just take special care when I choose to perceive someone else's mental state. um, we also know there's other forces, not just in the spiritual world, but on the 3D matrix side, that can mess with a person's mind unwillingly, and then it looks like they have mental issues, or um, giving chemicals or toxins or even things within the food, parasites,
Mhm.
can cause that disorientation within the mind.
Yeah.
So many aspects that go into that, um, that all of those things need to be looked at. Even in our community, like you said, we would just kind of hush them in the corner because we didn't want to be, it's not that you didn't love them, it was a society thing. Okay. So you didn't want your neighbors 3 streets down to think that you walking around here with a half crazed son, or something like that, so we would hide it, or not admit it or address what's going on. Traumas. traumas can look like a mental illness
Yes.
at times.
Mhm.
So, you know, you could be mad talking on the phone. Girl, she in here. That's all she do is fuss and cuss and cry. She's something wrong with her. Da, 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 da. She's suffering from some traumatic issues she needs to work through and do some shadow work and heal from. She has healing to do, actually. So it's just a labeling of things and not being open in your mind as to it could be other things versus what society has told you it could be, which has done our community and a lot of people very misjustice
Yeah.
on that aspect, which is sad, you know.
But yeah, it's just
Knowledge will give
yes,
you that.
thank you. You are in tune because that's exactly what I was wanting to get out of you. Like
Okay.
I
That's
love that. Okay, so tell the people any message that you would love to just get out. What's on your heart to get out?
What's on my heart to get out is that we are at a pivotal time right now. Okay. This is the third dimension of this stretch of reality's end game. Okay. All of these distractions being thrown at you, political, singer, pop rocks, whoever is in the limelight, they just gonna throw at you. If you really sit back and pay attention, it's a new distraction every week.
Yes.
Look at it. Understand that that's not even something that you need to indulge in whatsoever. All types of strings are being pulled on the other side, and that will be the matrix side. Okay. Just like we are magic, they have knowledge of the magic, so they do magic.
Mm-hmm.
Do your own magic.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
So don't hold back, do your magic, but you don't have to do it in a nefarious way like they do. But however, do yours. And that could just be magic within the inside of transforming yourself and your mindset. But don't pay attention to those distractions. Focus within, focus on self, not in a selfish way. However, you can't help anybody be their best if you are not your best. So it is important to have that moment, take that time to fully focus on yourself, learn yourself, pull your natal chart. Learn every aspect of yourself. That's a great roadmap
Yeah.
for all of us to look into ourselves and find out who we are and how we react and show up in different places. And that's not saying that that has to be you. Once you know that, you can actually make different changes because you already know that how you're going to respond on different things. Just because you have a specific roadmap that is only for you,
Exactly.
but get into that information and keep elevating, keep doing the spiritual work, because we are, and have your mindset on a higher outcome, should I say, because there are sections of us, or a whole group of us. And when I say group, that's not small. It's a whole slew of us, however, is going into a different dimension, a higher dimension. That's because it's the consciousness. That's because we allowed our minds to be open and able to research into the information and come out of this prison that the matrix has you in, and decided to listen and focus within and go within the spirituality so that you can elevate. That's the goal here. The goal is you came to this realm for this school. So the goal is for you to graduate. So if you want to sit in class and be on your be on Twitter or IG all day looking at the distractions, you're gonna be at the back of the class. And it's really as simple as that, you know. Especially at this time, it's really the end game. 2024, the end of you already, everybody see what's going on. And next year is gonna be even more turned up. So you need to, so it's time now. We've been playing games for the last couple years. So that's when we was getting the message out. Yeah, you need to go that way. You need to, that's what you need to do. Now is, you better be on that shit now. You need to be on that way. If not, you're going to repeat this school, baby. You in remedial class.
Mm.
It is what it is.
Well,
You know, you have to
held
be
back.
It's not, no, it's time out for sugarcoating and, you know, and holding hands. No, it's time out for that. Sorry. You know, if I'm rocking with a friend, which I wouldn't be because we're not on the same frequency. However, if you rocking with a friend and you on your spiritual journey and they not at all, you got to let them be where they be. Out of love, it's okay. You can still love them. Don't mean you need to hate them. However, y'all are simply on a different level. This is you, this is them. Do you see a connection between my hands? Absolutely not. Got to let that go. You gotta let it go. Unless you just gonna go ahead and get ready to repeat or make it harder for you on your journey that you're trying to go into. And it's black and white time now. It's not in race, but you know, it's time to like listen, put up or shut up.
That's it.
That's it. That's it. Let's get this shift. We are definitely those of us who mindset see a change, we will experience the change. Those who don't, this is the split you keep hearing or talking about. Everybody's talking about. If you don't and you still stuck there and you talking about, listen, I would go, yo, Jesus Christ is your Lord and all this other stuff. It can be, but you're gonna be over there with that. I'm gonna just be honest. Are you still dealing in these politics and stuff? You sitting over here arguing somebody down, which is bringing negativity, a negative vibration about Koala Harris or whatever her name is. I'm not, listen, I don't do none of that stuff. If you arguing somebody down about that, when that is doing nothing for your elevation, that is doing nothing for your soul at all, then that's what you're going to experience. You're going to experience all that indecisiveness and arguing and debating. That's going to be your whole experience. You're going to be stuck in that third dimension. Because this shift is a conscious shift.
Yes.
It's a conscious
I
shift.
think being sovereign in his body and spiritually, being sovereign.
Yeah. So that's my ending message. Like, just come on with it. You gotta go ahead and make, because in a minute you ain't gonna even have opportunity to make that decision. You already at the end of that leash right there. So if you gonna, I'm not trying to scare nobody or nothing like that, but if you teetering, stop asking people for permission. And focus in, learn what your higher self is telling your higher self. You're here to bring yourself through this journey. That's you. That's your higher self. So stop missing the message because I wanted to call up Rod Hayes to see if it was okay if I read this book and why are you asking for permission? Learn yourself. Yourself is telling you, like, they just sitting back like, damn it, I just told you, but you don't want to hear it. You got to learn yourself, trust yourself, and raise your vibration and go.
That's it.
Because this is ghetto. We don't want to be here no more. It's ghetto. You can't even eat the food or drink the water. Okay.
Man, what?
You know.
So you can't even trust the veggies no more. That's bad.
You know what I'm saying? Fruit looking weird. You can't even get no fruit. And from the people you supposed to get the fruit from, the farmers, that look weird. Like, okay, look, why is my lemon this big? I'm confused. Like, It's crazy. No, just pay attention to the weirdness. Like, you know, I'm a certain age, but I remember stuff. It's like, that is so different than what it was then. Like, okay, it's something with that.
No, yes, I'm over 40, so I get it. Yes.
Okay, right. Like, pay attention. But it's about paying attention. A lot of people just be like, oh, it's okay. Oh, that's the okie doke. But see, the okie dokes are still in the third dimension. Sorry, they are. It's all right. All right. We'll just deal with it. Are you dealing with it? Are you just gonna just deal with it, or you keep going? You're gonna keep going. Me, I'm not gonna just take that. No, I'm gonna keep going higher. Like, I'm not eating that. Don't give me that.
I see.
Okay, I know I kind of went because
No, you fine. I love it. I love it because
I
yeah, that's what needs to be said. And not many are saying it, but that's what needs to be said, period.
absolutely.
So tell the people where they can find you at.
Okay, so you can find me on Instagram at Indigo Goddess 717. I do have a lot of fakers out there. However, it will be actually just Indigo Goddess 717 on IG as well as TikTok. I also have a website with the online metaphysical store called Metaphysical Suite number 9. So the website for that is going to be, and I'll spell it out, AIMSUITE9.com. So that's aimsuite9.com is my website. I am in the process right now of doing some more revamping on it, but I can be booked for numerology readings, deity linkage, as well as tarot readings. Okay. And I also offer spiritual coaching with that. And with my spiritual coaching, I give you a lot of information to chew on to be able to, learn more about yourself. But things giving you a base guideline to go off and learn upon. So with my website, like I said, I'm doing some revamping. So I am adding a lot of knowledge base. That's really been my goal the whole time. I got book lists on there. I got movies you can watch as far as, esoterically watch these movies, where you can learn about spirituality, different spiritual systems. So I'm filling it with information if someone to go just for information. Okay, got a little merch on there too. So it's okay if you pick up some, but my goal and the way that my spirit, my soul had me set that up is to help others. I am a helper and a healer. Okay. So it's for information. If people want to research or learn about what colors are, because I also do color therapy, and painting and things. So if you want to know about oils or herbs and things of that sort. So that's what I'm feeling in the process right now of filling my website with, to just so people can come with a one-stop shop. I'm gonna have PDFs on there as well, for some free books, as well as some can be for purchase for a small price for me downloading all of this. But however, the purpose is really for knowledge. I'm not trying to putting that energy in will give me the abundance, but I don't have to ask for it.
I say.
Okay, I'd rather you have the information and knowledge, because gnosis is the abundance to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
I say all day.
Yes. So yeah, hit me up and reach out. I'm here. I love talking and connecting with people. Oh, my book, Amazon. It's called I See the Universe Calling. It's the big yellow book. Okay. I See the Universe Calling. So look it up on Amazon for those who want to know more about guardian numbers and why they're seeing these numbers and want to keep track. It's the perfect little tool. Okay.
I love that. Well, we want to thank you for your time. We are appreciative of that. Thank you for your wisdom. Very appreciative of that. Okay. And thank you for the work that you have done to be able to come here in your essence. Okay. And speak from that.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Gratitude, gratitude. Okay, my spirit is telling me to say one last thing if
Yeah.
you don't, because she is hollering at me. She's a little feisty, but it's okay. I know.
Hey, honey, come through.
I love it. Chakra work. Do chakra work. So important. I got a book coming out soon. I don't want to put it out there just yet. You know how you got to get you. But anyway, chakra work. So with that meditation that's starting off, learn these chakras because you have to be in alignment. You have to be in alignment to reach your crown, your higher self. That's so important. Chakra work will get you right there. It
Mm.
get you together. It will get you together. Okay, so that's what she wanted to say, baby. She like, if you don't
No,
say that,
that's important,
okay.
because I think it's one of those things where it's becoming like the word shadow art, where it's so trendy right now that people are like overstep because you keep hearing it, and so it almost like devalues it, takes the appreciation away from it a little bit, because it's so popularized right now. But that is very important. The chakras are important, and to clear these blockages to be in alignment so that you can start living. I like superhuman as your superhuman self, with your superhuman powers.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So you can step into the deliciousness of life, like, because it's so, oh, it's a breath of fresh air on that other side. You know what I mean? Like, life can be great. You can actually be in joy. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be looking over your corner, looking for the next obstacle. And you know what I'm saying? Like, life it don't even have to be that. Like,
Right. It's a mindset. It's
yeah.
literally mindset. It's literally your perception. I always tell people, uh, think about a meme. I seen this meme and I just think it's so powerful. It was the same person, but it was a bee. One person was freaking out. He was freaking out with the bee, but then his other self was looking at the bee in amazement. It's really about perception.
Yes.
Your mind, it doesn't have to be doom and gloom. It doesn't have to be just torments everywhere. It's your mind. Change your perception on it.
It is.
And
You
you
change
lost
your
anxiety.
perception, you change your life. That's a fact.
Yes.
It's a
There
fact.
you saying change your perception, change your life. That's a fact. My life changed a lot. Even in my spiritual journey, me changing my perception opened so many doors
Yes.
for me.
Mhm.
So many. Yep. So
I
yes.
say we could do this all night. Gemini
Okay.
Sagittarius, we do this all night. We be back.
In you guys. Thank you.
Yes. So we want to thank the audience for tuning in. This was another great episode of the You Thrive Everyday show. Okay. We over here thriving. We showing everybody different ways how you can thrive on through. You know what I'm saying? So we are so thankful for y'all being here. Peace. Have a beautiful week. And we shall chat soon. We shall see y'all soon on the next episode. Peace.